Alright, everybody, this is the last what if for tonight, and I'm going to sleep. This is going to take 20 minutes long, so all I just need to do is tell you guys. This is what if Deku became, was the new toxin X Carnage. This is not a love story between those two, it's basically just a mixture of both of them combined together. What if the brute strength had the brute power? What if it had pure muscle? What if it had pure energy as well, combined with that? Now, I don't know what Toxin can do, but I know what Venom can do. And for right now, this is Venom being used and Toxin being used at the same time. Basically meaning it's a fusion between two symbiotes. They used it so that way they can survive much more longer. Now, this is how it's going to start. The planet where all the symbiotes go to, the Clintar. Clintar go, I hope I'm saying that right. Clintar go, and 2 are sent there. Well, technically 1. The whole Spider-Man thing, he's dead. But Venom still lives. Carnage is dead. And Toxin is alive. These 2 fight, but they thought to themselves, if both of them combine, they will be able to, live for much more longer. Due to the fact that none of them can find a host worthy enough to control their power. Until they see a boy. A boy protecting this young girl. And she is... I don't know who's going to be it, but I think I'm going to actually pick another person. Somebody you guys never thought of. And you know what? It's the belly button dude. Ioama or something like that. It's going to be a female version of that. Now, you guys are probably wondering, why her? Or him? Because I thought about it. She's going to have a different quirk besides a belly button. She's going to have her hands can shoot out lasers as well. Light lasers. And these lasers are a bit more stronger, not like too strong, but she can shoot lasers out, and it's mostly light that's coming out of it, and she can't actually, and it hurts her from time to time. Bakugo bullies her because of that, and pretty much it right there. Deku gets beaten up. He is crashed into it, and Toxin sees this, and Venom and Toxin are kind of fused now. I don't actually know what name I should call them, but Veto, Venom and Toxic, Veto is now the new version. Since they couldn't actually find a way how to merge names, I just thought Veto. Veto is right there. He sees this, and he doesn't know why, but he's mad. But Deku right there is standing up, because he's taken the bash. He's been bashed already. But Deku's getting up, and he tells this girl, "Are you okay?" She says, "Just call me Ionama." And they talk for a while. And he's happy. And he sees this. How could someone with so much despair, someone who got beaten up to the point where it looked like it could hurt, even from their standpoint, and just stand up and have a smile on his face? And Veto thinks this kid might be a good vessel. He doesn't know why, but he decides, might as well just help him out. It wouldn't hurt, right? Besides, they know what would happen, but they're willing to do it. They go inside Deku. And I know you guys are probably saying, wouldn't Deku be crying? Well, no, not in this one. Deku doesn't cry. He's used up all of his tears. That's because he's the only kid there. Nobody accepted him, not even his parent, which was Inko. Which I know is weird, but in this one, Inko couldn't handle it anymore. She was sad of the fact that she couldn't have a son who had a quirk. She thought it was probably because of her bad genetics, and people were gonna make fun of her for that, and make fun of him. And she couldn't handle this, which is a very sad thing to think of. But he got stronger that way. Not physically, not even since he doesn't even have a quirk. It doesn't actually make him stronger that way. It just makes him stronger by his will. Mentally, it makes him stronger, and he just says, this doesn't hurt me anymore. I should help out the others. Anyway. And Toxin sees this in his mind. He sees every horrible thing happen because of this one boy, this brat, who has this power of his, and thinks just because he can use it on others doesn't mean he should do it, but he decides to. So Toxin says, young boy, what is your name? And Deku gets up. Mind you, this is already, this is already like afternoon. He was still knocked out, but Ayanama was gone. She told him, is she okay? And he said yes. But he was still kind of unconscious, so he just laid down again. And Deku was kind of scared. But it's somebody who's talking to him. Even though it's a weird creature, this thing is talking to him and isn't calling him names. He just called him young man, or young kid, or boy. And he's kind of intrigued. He says that, where did that girl go? And he says, well, as far as I can tell, she went, and he just points at the street. And pretty much that's it. And Deku says, thank you. Who are you, by the way? And Vito says, I am Vito. I am a symbiote. Well, I was two symbiotes. But we combined together and our powers and our strength to live much more. We couldn't find a human host of great proportions who can handle us. But then we came across you, and you smiled, even though you were sad. Why is that? And he gives the explanation that All Might was somebody who never cried. All Might was somebody who did everything with a smile. And even though he can't smile as much, he still tries to, even though it hurts, even though he's in pain. And Toxin, his side is much more mature than Venom. And Venom is more of like the kid who always gets mad easily at times. So both get mad, and even much more madder because of Toxin as well. And Deku says, are you going to kill me? Or eat out my insides and put yourself inside? And Toxin's rationality side is like, no kid, that's nonsense. Why would you think that? And he explains that, well, aliens can do that. And you explain that you're from this planet, so I thought Maybe if you wanted somebody, you probably have somebody who had a quirk. And Toxin side remembers everything except for Venom side. It's kind of more vengeance. But Vito, combined together, says no, none of that. It doesn't really matter of what the host's powers is. It's mostly from the host's heart. You displayed the weakling side and yet the strong person side. Or what you like to call it, the heroic side and the weak side. You showed those, and even though you were mostly the weakling, you stood up, you stood your ground, and you protected that little girl until you passed out. That is what I think you should. Hold on. That's why I want to combine with you. That's why I want you to be our host. Because you're a kind person who doesn't give up. And that girl was pretty happy. She didn't get a scratch on her, which was pretty amazing. We've been through our own kind of fair deal of pain. So we kind of understand you. So why don't you let us give you our power? I don't know what Toxin's power is, so I'm going to search that up on the next What If. But I know he's kind of, he's resistant to fire, which was one of the reasons why Venom wanted to fuse with him. And he's super strong in his own right. And he's much more like tactical instead of Toxin. Because he's kind of brash in a way. Let's just say that. So don't quote me on this like, oh, what if the lore's like this? But no, none of that. So, Deku says, will it hurt? And Venom's side says, well, it's gonna hurt like hell. But it shouldn't kill you as much. And Deku says, it doesn't really matter to me whether I live or die. I shouldn't live anyway. I'm quirkless. And basically, I'm useless to this whole world. I should have probably died. I probably just jumped off the building. And Venom's and Toxic's side gets mad and tells him to not give up. What kind of stupid talk is that? He should be happy of the fact that he wasn't there. Because if he was there and he actually gave Deku his power, he would have beaten Bakugo with ease. Even torture the kid for all he cared. And probably just gobble him up and have some protein left. Even though it would probably be disgusted from his kind of scum. And Deku's taking a little, like, taken aback by this. Like, oh, okay. Wait a minute. You said give you power. Is that what your people do? Or Clintar, child. And yes, we do give power. We combine with the person, and in turn, they give us the power of life, living easily. Although we still need humans or a protein source, basically like foods, normal day food, and sometimes people to survive. If we went into you before the whole incident of us fusing with a bad person, we wouldn't have been hungry for humans. We don't actually desire that flesh at first. But it's because, I guess you call it sin, that we are like this. And Deku's like, I'm sorry for that. And he says, Vito says, no, you shouldn't be mad. Alright, child? This is not your fault. Just because you were born something doesn't mean it defines who you are. Even if you're born with one arm, it doesn't define that you're just a one-armed kid. You can be so much more. We want you to believe yourself. And this is when the fusion ends. Venom and Toxin are down on the ground. Now they're much more banged up. They're much more weaker because they're not combined. They can't even move. And Toxin says, look, kid, we have no time. We will grant you our powers. We promise that. We won't hurt you just because you're a kid and all that. We understand what you humans go through. So, will you accept us? Venom says, kid, hurry up. As much as I understand what you're going through, I had a person like that once too. He was the best damn person who's ever lived. He treated me right, even though we had our ups and downs at first. We became family. Family protects each other to the end. It was a long time ago. So please, will you accept us? We understand if you don't. We won't even get mad at you, kid. Just please choose now. And Deku says without thinking, he says, yes, I'll accept you. And Toxin says, are you sure? And Venom agrees, saying, please, we don't want you to feel pressured. We understand. It's kind of scary, and this will be your first time connecting with two powerful beings. Are you sure? And because once we get inside, we cannot technically leave you anymore. We hope you understand. And Deku says, yes, I understand. Please, I don't want you guys to die. You guys are the only nice people alive besides that girl. Just hurry up, please. And Deku and Toxin says, alright, let's go. Deku slamming his hand as fast as he can. Deku slamming his hand as fast as he could. And getting into, and them reacting with harmony. They're both inside of Deku. Both sides in one, what's called, area. One is on the left side and one is on the right side. And they feel this surge of power. They couldn't even believe. That's because Deku still has his quirks, even though they're not dormant. Deku has telekinesis and Spitfire, which combined together is Pyromaniac. Basically meaning Deku's quirk is basically him throwing fireballs, him using fire and basic whatnots, him using candle lights, which is basically using fire to light up a room, and Toxin and Venom combined together somewhat gave Deku his quirk, and Deku coughs up a bit, which since it's his first time, his throat feels heavy and hot. And because of Toxin and freaking Venom combined inside Deku's body and their rapid regeneration, Deku feels much more better, although it kind of hurt a bit. And he said, is this what you guys do? Is that what's called why you told me that this was gonna hurt? And they say no. Toxin saying that he doesn't know why he spit fire, and Venom saying, yeah. Now, looking through your memories, we found that because now their voices are not deeper anymore. Their voices are now smaller, much more softer. Not because Deku's a child, but it's because Deku's happiness and harmony went inside freaking Venom and Toxin. They don't have that freaking Venom. None of that crap. They're now in harmony. They're in tune with one another. They don't feel this rage. Deku's saying he doesn't know why, but he probably unlocked his quirk. And both of them going into Deku's mind, finding out that he had a mother whose quirk was telekinesis, and the father's side was Spitfire. So they think that probably two of these quirks fused together and made this one new quirk. And Deku is happy now because he has a quirk. And they feel it, and they're happy for him. And this is where I'm going to technically leave it off. But I'm going to say this. Deku goes into the, Deku goes to the freaking, how you say it? Orphanage. Where he I'm sorry. Where he, Okay, like I said before, he goes into the orphanage where he actually lives. And Toxin and Venom see all this. And they say that if any of one of them tries to hurt you again, we can destroy them. We can beat them. We are actually all invincible once combined with humans. We have a power that you won't know, not yet, since you don't really need to use it. But when the time comes, we'll give it to you. For right now, work on this quirk, as you humans call it nowadays, and train it a bit. We want you to become stronger so that way you can handle our powers as well. And Deku's with the determination that he's never had before, and even his freaking 7 years since Deku was seven at the time, he feels happy. This joy of not only unlocking his quirk, but finding some people who don't look at him as a weakling. Not anybody looking at him as a quirkless loser. He's happy for this, and it's a determination for him to give more effort into his life. He doesn't actually see this as a drawback, but more of, let's say, it's more of a gift. An unexpected gift that he has. And he's happy to have it. And he's grateful for it. That's where we're actually going to leave it off, alright? So, you know what? Yeah, like, comment, and subscribe. And please like the channel. Please subscribe to the channel. I just made it up to 300. I'm probably up to 305 right now. But, yeah, that's what I'm saying. And good night, y'all. Or good morning. Good morning. It's late to say, I say good morning. Good morning. What's up, fags? Like you and you and you. Good morning. Good